How's it going, YouTube? Captain Apex here, and today we're going to be trying out to get our super license. As you know, in the Gran Turismo games, there is a license center section where you can get different licenses, from your national licenses to international licenses, and finally your super license. As you can see here, I've managed to complete all the licenses with all bronze, and this time I'm trying to go for the super license. The first thing that I noticed is that with the super license, you're supposed to put in a 1 lap time, and whereas with previous licenses, you had to take a corner or take a few consecutive corners or maybe drive for a while in the rain, but this time you have to take a whole course, you have to do it for 1 lap, and you have to set in a fast time according to the standards that the game gives you, and you're going to be obviously driving cars that are more advanced and in some cases formula cars. So let's start. So for our first challenge, we're going to be taking a Lamborghini Aventador to the high-speed ring circuit in Japan. And we're gonna have to do a 1 lap, and well, we don't have to go off the we shouldn't go off the track or collide with a wall like the other licenses. And the acceptable time for a bronze would be 1 minute and 19 seconds, and we can improve that to 1 minute 11.5 seconds, which would get us a gold for this challenge. All right, let's start. All right, so for the first corner, we can just simply lift our foot off the gas. We don't actually have to brake because it's a relatively easier corner to take, but for this one, for the second one, which is the left hand side corner, we have to brake a bit. That corner, all right. The third one is a right hand side, and it is followed by the fourth one, which is a left hand side, and braking is crucial. I was a bit late to brake there. Let's not go off the track. Here we do need to brake a bit because we're going at a high speed. I don't think... Well, I do think we're gonna make it, right? 115? Yep, 115. Alright, good. Bronze for the first challenge. That was a nice drive. Alright, let's see what the second challenge has for us. Alright, so we're going to Monza, and we're going to drive a Ferrari F50. And what times are we looking at? 2 minutes and 11 seconds for a bronze. All right. The high curbing that surrounds the track can easily knock your car off balance. All right. Thank you for the heads up, and let's go. Alright, so braking is important here, as 2 corners are... Alright, these 2 corners are a bit tricky. We can go full push here, I think. Yep. Braking again. I should have braked harder. Alright. Second attempt, Monza. Super license. Let's go. Alright, so I entered this turn with 60 kilometers per hour. I don't know if I could have entered with a higher speed, but well, it is what it is. Let's see if we're gonna be making the time. Alright, let's not make the same mistake as before. Again, 60. Let's push. Right hand side corner. Another one. Alright, we can go flat out here. Okay, good. We have 2 more corners. And then we'll see the finish line. This is the first one. Well, it's one more corner actually, but yeah. Alright. And I think we're gonna make it 2.7. Yep, 2.7. We made a small mistake in our first attempt. I braked late, but smooth. It was smooth. All right. Third challenge. All right. So it's Tsukuba Circuit, and we're driving a Silvia Spec R. All right. So, some interesting facts. It's the smallest circuit in the Super License Challenge. Use the entire width of the narrow track wherever you can at the hairpin. So there's a hairpin that leads to the back straight. The key is to set the apex deeper. Okay, so there are 2 hairpins. Let's see how well we can do in our Nissan Silvia. I like the handling of the car. The front is very responsive and it doesn't oversteer. I don't think we're gonna make it. 1 minute 4 seconds. I don't think that's gonna happen on the first attempt, but oh no, it's gonna be okay. Yeah, okay. I thought the finish line was gonna be further ahead, but 1 minute 2 seconds. That was nice. And let's go for the next challenge. So far, pretty smooth. Pretty okay. Alright, so it's time for my favorite, the Tokyo Expressway South counterclockwise, and we are going to be driving a Supra GT 500. What times are we looking at? 2 minutes, 12 seconds, or 3 seconds, or just 2 minutes for the gold? All right. Yeah, I'm familiar with this circuit. There are some difficult corners, but it's a super fun one. The first difficult corner is this one that you have to brake heavily in order to be able to take it. All right. Flat out. Well, a bit of lift and coast here. This car is good. This car is fast. I like this. It steers well. Alright, so far we are at 1 minute 38 seconds. Two minutes. So we're not getting the gold, we're not getting the silver, but we are getting the bronze with 2 minutes, 9 seconds. How many more do we have? 5, 6, 2, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 more. Alright, so the next one is Sardinia Windmills, and we're going to be driving a Yaris. Alright, so this is our first dirt track of the super license. Make sure your car is traveling a straight line when you hit a jump. Okay. 1 minute 34 seconds. Alright. I'm not very good with dirt tracks, but we can try. Well, considering that we cannot collide with the wall, that makes it a bit challenging, but I think we can manage that. I think we've been doing well so far. If we don't go, okay, nice. I was a bit worried. Little jump. I may try. I have the WRC game, the Rally Championship game that is made by EA, but I think we're gonna crash. No, but I've never really thought about making YouTube videos for that game because it's very challenging for me. But maybe with enough practice, one day I'll start uploading. We hit the wall a second before the finish line, but I think we were gonna go beyond the 1 minute 34 seconds. So either way, that was a not acceptable lap. Okay, that was too much of a spin. I think I'm turning the wheel too aggressively, and that's why the car is... I'm using the front. Let's follow the race lines as closely as possible and not hit the wall, which we just did. It's the braking that I find quite challenging on dirt tracks. Especially when braking as you enter a corner, that part is usually the difficult part. Because obviously the car reacts differently on dirt, and I'm not very experienced to know how it reacts and what I'm supposed to expect. Okay. We're not gonna make the time. Yeah, we won. Did we hit a barrier? I didn't notice. Apparently we did. If the game says we did, then that wasn't there. Okay, I was just trying to see if the game is being just. I could definitely use a co-driver here to tell me what I'm supposed to do. Let's lock in and get this one done. I'm worried about this one, and we usually have one challenge with each license, if not more, that is related to rain. So I'm also a bit worried about the rain challenge as well, but I think that is going to be definitely easier than this one, because with this one I just have no experience. Not that I'm terribly good at the other ones, but it's just that I'm a bit better. Okay, let's not hit a barrier, and we just went over the time, 1:35. Alright, so this is the challenging part. This is definitely challenging. No, it was such a good lap. It was so good. Wow. Let me cheat. Let me see if I can. This is such a super weird view, but if it helps, it helps. It's a bit of a weird experience to see a Yaris on a dirt track drifting, but I guess it is what it is. No. Okay, so we are faster than our fastest lap so far by, I think, a couple of seconds. Let's see if we can make it this time. That was a terrible corner. We're still faster, but I don't think it's gonna be 134. Whoops. It is gonna be 134. Yes. Bye bye, dirt track. Bye bye. Nice. One, two, three, four, five more challenges. Let's drive a Shelby GT 350R on a trail mountain circuit. Is this off-road? No. Okay, let's go for a lap faster than 2 minutes 25 seconds. Let's change the view. The car feels a bit slow, but lost control for a second there. Okay, but we lost a lot of time. Let's hope we can make it to the 122. Alright, 230. We're gonna have to break here. Let's not take off the wheel from the table. Okay. Well, it's a desk, but not a table. I... That was a shame. That was completely unnecessary. Let's try again. This one's nerve-wracking because it's just asphalt. Like, if it was a dirt track, I would be like, yeah, I'm not very good at that, so I have to do it a few times. This is just asphalt. It should be easy. Break. Was it here that I crashed? I think it was here. What the fuck is this? We're gonna take that one another time. Alright, so we're gonna take a SF19 Super Formula. Okay. Oops. Oh my god. Okay, this is becoming... Thanks, I guess. This license is becoming more and more challenging. The first couple of ones were really easy, so I thought it's gonna be just easy, but apparently not. If I don't make it this lap, I'm gonna call it a day, and I'll try to... It scared the shit out of me, the car that appeared in front. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a day and make this into a two-part video and try to beat the record in the second one. And even if I break it in this lap, I think the video is becoming too long, so we'll just save the rest for a part 2. That was very close. I almost went off the track, but apparently the FIA doesn't care anymore and doesn't give people penalties. Yeah, we're not going to be making it. So, yeah, as I was saying, it's certainly becoming more and more challenging as we're progressing. I think we have a total of 4 challenges left to get the super license, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last one is the final exam. And well, it was good in the first 5, I guess, but it's becoming more and more challenging, and I'll leave the rest to the next video. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. I would really appreciate it. And also hit the bell for the second video, in which I will try to finish, hopefully, all the requirements for the super license. Thank you for watching. This is Captain Apex signing off.